Okay, so in this video we'll talk about a few things. The first one I haven't really mentioned, but you can definitely put more things inside of a single if statement or elif or else statement. In all of these examples I only have one thing, right? So for example, I can put another print, I don't know, I'll just put something else, right? You can print something else here as well, and this something else will only trigger when this condition is true, because it's a part of this entire if statement. And the way you know it's part of the entire if statement is because, one, it's indented, right? So both of these things are indented by a tab. So if you press tab, and also this line right here, that will kind of show you what this if statement fully encapsulates, right? So I can minimize the if statement here, but I'll just leave it open. And you can obviously put as many things in here as you want, as many lines of code, as long as they're all indented. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that we can do more than just these conditions with the double equals, or the less than, or the greater than sign, or the not equal. There's also the less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, that I haven't talked about, but I'm guessing from Pre-Calc 11 you guys have seen this. So anyway, there's also the logical operator called AND. Okay, so let's see this in action. So the way we can do this is, well, let me just get rid of all of this thing at the bottom about the temperature. So here, let's also ask for the username. So name is input, please enter your name. And so right now, if I run this, again, if I enter yes, and then any name that I put in, it will still, oh, let me also get rid of this something else. Okay, so let me run this. So now it's gonna still ask me, is it raining? Yes, I can still put any gibberish name in there, and it's going to say stay inside. But now, what if I want this program to only respond to a person named Bob? So if I enter my name like this, then I don't want it to say anything. And the way you could do this is using one of the AND operators. So we can say if rain status is yes and your name is equal to Bob, okay, then the first condition will be true. This AND operator means that both the left condition and the right condition, if they're both true, then the whole thing is true, and then you enter. If one is true and the second one is false, then true and false is false, so then you don't enter. Same with vice versa. If the first one's false and the second one is true, again, that's false. And if they're both false, that's also false. You also have the OR operator. So there's the OR. In this case, at least one must be true. So if they're both true, you're good, the whole statement is true. If the first one is true and the second one is false, that's still good, you will still enter. Or the other way around, that's also good. But if they're both false, then you will not enter here, right there. Okay, later down the line, your programs might rely on those. Sometimes you can get away without using them. It depends on how you write the program. But anyway, let's talk about now the last thing, which is the big topic, which is one of the most useful features of programming, and that is the ability to nest code. And in this case, when you want to nest if statements, that means you're going to take one block of if statements and throw it inside of another block of if statements. So let's have a look at this. Here, instead of taking the name, I'm going to take the outside temperature. So here I'm asking for the outside temperature. Okay. Now, if it is raining outside, and only if it's raining outside, then there's also a chance of snow, right? Like, it depends on the temperature. So if temperature is less than, let's just say, 2 degrees Celsius, right? Around there is usually when it could start snowing. So if temperature is less than 2 degrees Celsius, we will now say there is a chance of snow. And I can add more to this if statement block, right? So I can add a elif here, put some condition, or I can just add an else. But for this case, I will just leave it as a single if statement. But the point is that this if statement is nested within the first if statement. So let's try to use the line breaks to just understand what's happening and how this code runs. So in this case, I run it. Is it raining? Let's just say yes. What's the temperature? Let's just say the temperature is 3. And so, okay, We get to line number 4, yes equals to yes, so we will enter the first if statement. Now it's going to print stay inside, so you can see it says stay inside, and now it's checking the temperature. So temperature is 3. 3 is less than 2, that is false, so we will not enter the second if statement. And I forgot this one thing. Remember when you take an input and you input a number? We are not actually inputting a number, we're inputting a sentence. So it's treating this number 3 not as a number, it's treating it as a character. So I have to just convert it to a float. And let me rerun this. Okay, so again, we'll get through the first one, we print. Now we're checking 3 is less than 2. That is false. So we did not print that line. But I can rerun this. Yes again. Temperature 1.9. We check the condition, it's true. We tell the user to stay inside. We check the second loop condition. The condition is true, so we go inside of that if statement. And so now we get the message, there's a chance of snow. Okay. If you had this if statement not nested, and if instead you just had it at the end of your program, then you would come into issues. Right? So for example, if we say, is it raining? And we say no, and what is the temperature outside? Let's just say it's 0 degrees. Then it's saying, go outside, but there's a chance of snow. But how can there be a chance of snow if it's not raining, right? So yeah, a lot of the times you will have to nest if statements, and later on when you learn loops, you will have to nest loops, which that's where it's going to get quite challenging. So try getting comfortable with nesting, and I'll see you in the next video.